And that power, that ability to sustain life comes from who you are. And it's not your brain that runs your heart, it's not your brain that runs your nervous system. Yes, our brains are interconnected to these things, and we can sense feedback and all these things. But life is bigger than that. There are some things that are happening, there are processes, millions of processes that are happening. And all these things are all engineered and generated by the life itself, the space of life, or the space of consciousness that we are. And the sad part is we know this thing, we have felt it, you have felt it, and I can give examples like when you fell in love and you saw that lady, or that lady saw that guy, or you saw somebody that you loved, and you just became present at that time. You felt so much joy and so much peace. Something happened inside of you. Another example is if you've gone to these landmarks and sceneries in the world, around the world, and you came to a place and just everything about you was overwhelmed by presence, and you felt so good just for a moment. And sometimes we get it, and sometimes we go out, sometimes we go to church, and maybe in the middle of worship and stuff like that, you get that feeling, or you are doing something at work or whatever, and then you just get like a real feeling of presence, and it's like it's so good. And mostly through breakthroughs, and maybe when you are you got a success of something, or you just found something so intriguing that captured your attention, and you just got out of your brain, got out of your continuous processes, and you were captured by that moment. That is a glimpse of that life that I'm talking about. And also you will find that people who've gone through hard times, hardships, like somebody survived death or something, they come back with this strength, and this resilience and a renewal of life. And they're out there giving testimonies. They don't come down, they don't come back weaker, but they come back stronger. And that is the glimpse of the life of God that is inside of you. That's the life. And I may use the word God, I may use the word righteousness, but it's not about the names of these things. We cannot even name it. But just for the sake of expressing this understanding, you are able to be yourself and to live it, and that being of eternity is inside of us, and that life is just lived in here and now. It is not lived tomorrow. It's not waiting for the future, or it's not recalling the past. It's the present awareness of life. And that is what, even if you read the word Bible, Apostle Paul was talking to pagans, and he told them, in him we live, we move, and have our being. That quote coming from pagans themselves, from a pagan book. Paul picked that and told them, you know what, that's so true. You guys live and have your being in God. And that's the awareness that we get when we start to disembody ourselves from the definitions that we have labeled on ourselves because of our activities, or because of our past, or because of the future. And that is the life that we call righteousness. That's the life that we call God's consciousness. And that life is always inside of us, and it's full of joy, peace, full of tranquility, and it's like it's an endless ocean of life. And you get in touch with that life, and it's love. And it's just like the symmetrical you, so balanced. It is not as heavy as the body. It's not as complicated as the mind. It's just a simple life, and that life is who you are. And it's actually God Himself. It's actually the universe, the life in the universe. And the more you come to that place, the more you can sense life around you. You can sense life in a tree. You can sense life in grass. It's like everything is just alive, and you are communicating with them. And I believe that is now the essence and the basis of love. When you find your connect, when you find yourself in connection with another being and actually identifying yourself with the being, and this all of this comes from that place of knowing who you are, that you are an eternal being, and eternity is only lived here and now. It's not a time-based thing. It's a vertical. It's not, horizontal. It's not time. It's not after an accumulation of a particular time. Eternity is it's an internal, infinite experience that is lived in the now, and there's no time to define now, because it's not about a second. It's not about a minute. It is just now.